Good evening, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this evening, 4 men shot in suspected reprisal attack in Curato Hill. Investigators attached to the MIPEN Criminal Investigations Branch are probing the circumstances that led to 4 people being shot in Curato Hill, Clarendon on Wednesday night. According to the police report, the men aged 23 to 52 were at a shop on Slim Lane, Curato Hill, around 8:45 p.m. when a white Nissan Tiida drove up. It is alleged that 2 men armed with handguns exited the vehicle and opened fire in their direction before escaping in their waiting car. The injured men were subsequently rushed to the hospital, where it was revealed that one person had received gunshot wounds to his upper body, while the others sustained injuries to their lower bodies. One of the victims is considered to be in serious condition. However, the injuries to the other men are not life-threatening. While the investigations are ongoing, the police said initial information suggests that the attack could be a reprisal for the Tuesday, February 13, 2024 murder of another man in the community. The police believe the attack may have been carried out by a known violence producer from the New Bowens community. Police constables gun stolen, manhunt launched for suspects. A probe has been launched to recover a service weapon assigned to a constable after it was stolen from her private motor car on Ward Avenue in Mandeville on Wednesday. Sources told the news that shortly after midday, the constable, who is assigned to the Manchester Police Division, parked her car on Ward Avenue and went into a business establishment. It is reported that when she returned to her vehicle minutes later, she realized that it had been broken into and the service weapon, a Browning pistol with 30 rounds of ammunition, was missing. Police have since identified the suspects in relation to the theft of the firearm. A motor car reportedly used by the suspects was found abandoned in the corporate area. Accused child killer gets attorney to return to court July 18. Devon Williams, the alleged killer of 3-year-old Asher Campbell in PG St. Mary, has secured legal representation. Williams' father has enlisted the legal services of attorney Dean Marsh, who has now taken over the case. Last week, Williams was ordered to retain legal counsel after he informed the St. Mary Parish Court that he was prepared to represent himself. When he appeared in court with his client for the first time on Thursday, June 20, Marsh requested more time to review the case. Parish Judge Nicole Kellier granted the request and instructed that Williams' medical report and the criminal records be presented at the next hearing. This marked Williams' third appearance before Justice Kellier. Williams is also accused of wounding 6 other people during the incident. 3 of the victims were present in court along with Williams' father. Williams has been remanded until July 18. 2 men pleaded guilty to escaping from Black River Police lockup. 2 of 8 men who escaped from the Black River lockup on June 19 last year pleaded guilty on Wednesday to escaping custody when they appeared in the St. Elizabeth Parish Court in Black River. Kenneth Stewart and Demar Williams were each sentenced to 12 months imprisonment. 4 of the escapees remain at large, 3 have been recaptured, and 1 is reported to have died. It was reported that the 8 men cut their way out of the cell block. There was an immediate shakeup of the leadership of the St. Elizabeth Police Division as a result of the escape. Man charged with murder of St. Ann cop remanded until July 16. O'Shane Davis, who is charged with the murder of Constable Ricardo Fairclough in St. Ann in April, was further remanded when he appeared in the St. Ann Parish Court on Wednesday. Mr. Davis is scheduled to return to court on July 16. Constable Fairclough was killed on Bravo Street in St. Anne's Bay on April 15 while attempting to foil a robbery. The woman who was being robbed was shot and injured. Mr. Davis was held within hours of the crime following an intense investigation by the Major Investigation Division and the St. Anne detectives. He was charged on May 1. Small percentage of Jamaicans will benefit from new U.S. immigration policy, says attorney. Immigration attorney Wayne Golding says that the majority of Jamaicans who enter the United States have done so through legal channels. Mr. Golding, who is based in Florida, says as a result, not many Jamaicans will fall into the category of undocumented spouses of U.S. citizens.
With respect to Jamaicans, over the years, the surveys have found that most Jamaicans come into the United States legally. There are very few in percentage that actually cross the border illegally or sneak into the country or use other people's documents to get into the country.
Yes.
So overall, not a lot of Jamaicans would fall into that category, so to speak, although there are those who would benefit from it. First of all, you have to prove that you have been in the United States for 10 years or more. So you need to get whatever documentation to support that. It can range from affidavits from folks to any sort of documentation that you would have gotten in the mail, document your address, where you've worked, all these things, because they're just not going to take your word for it. They want to see some sort of proof and documentation. The one thing I'd advise people to do, though, is to make sure you use an immigration attorney.
21-year-old man shot in Old Harbor Bay. A 21-year-old man is in hospital nursing gunshot wounds following an attack in Old Harbor Bay, St. Catherine. It is reported that about 7:15 on Wednesday night, the man was standing along Nareen Lane in Old Harbor Bay when a car approached and the occupants exited the vehicle with guns and opened fire. The man was hit in his upper body. The vehicle then sped away. The injured man was assisted to the Maypen Hospital, where he is admitted. The Old Harbor Criminal Investigation Branch is investigating the shooting. 118 active ventilators in public health system, says Tufton. Health and Wellness Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says an audit has found that there are 118 ventilators in operation in the public health system. Dr. Tufton says this is out of 210. The ministry held a press briefing on Thursday morning in response to questions by opposition spokesman on health, Dr. Alfred Dawes, over the whereabouts of the 105 ventilators donated during the COVID-19 pandemic. The comments arose following the death of a newborn at a Maypen Hospital. Dr. Tufton said all ventilators in the public health system are accounted for, as he gave a breakdown of the number being used, serviced, and obsolete.
40 are going through a process of maintenance for one reason or the other. Routine maintenance, taking out of service for maintenance, a very complicated piece of equipment. And in some instances of that 40, some are waiting on parts for servicing. The rest are obsolete. They are not functional. They can't be used. So I say without fear or favor, and I ask anyone who has alternative knowledge or data, at what other point as public health has in active use as much as 118 ventilators. I know of no other period, and I've done some checks. And if you add the 40, which will come back in operation at some point, either from maintenance or from parts to be replaced, that even adds to a much larger core of ventilators in the system. I know of no ventilators in a box. There were some ventilators that were received as a gift from the Saudi Arabian government, I believe. The CMO can comment more on that were not able to be used because of technical issues. It was not, as I understand it, as is being alleged, as a result of a lack of training.
Thank you everyone for watching. See you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. for another news update.